ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe. I'm the pterodactyl man. Whoa. Woo.
Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Hot Toys action figure review set on the Avengers Infinity War movies MMS 47616 scale Groot and Rocket collectible figures. If you're trying to pick these up, you can do so.
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And I gotta give a big thanks to MarvelousNews.com for making this review possible. If you want to see the latest Marvel news, reviews, and photos, you can find it all over at MarvelousNews.com. And you can see we get a nice image of Groot and Rocket right over here. You could actually feel some texturing going on with this circle A logo thingy, so that's pretty cool. And on the side right there, we get a beautiful Infinity Gauntlet. And then on the very back, you can see some, I don't know, legal stuff. And then on the side right here, I like how it wraps around. You can feel the texturing where it says Groot and gold foil right there. And it's gold foil right here too. I really dig that a lot. And then on the very back, you can see the A. You can see all the people responsible for creating the figure, including and then not much more going on over here, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Rocket and Groot out of the packaging. And this set is pretty cool, especially if you don't already have a Hot Toys Rocket.
3 Hot Toys Rocket Artemis? How are you so stupid? You don't know how to count!
And there's no change to it except for the gun. The Groot figure, though, that's totally different and brand new, and that's definitely the piece that I was more excited for. And yeah, I don't know how Hot Toys does it, but they just have this Groot figure down in all forms. They just make awesome Groots. So let's get a closer look at the accessories, and then we'll get a closer look at Rocket and Groot. So as always, you want to read through the directions before you play with your Hot Toys figures. These are fairly extensive directions. They show you how to port the little branches that come with the Teen Groot, and how to interchange the pieces, and what to do and what not to do, and don't break your figure and all that stuff. But anyway, with both of these figures, we get similar display stands. You can see this right here. It just says Rocket right there, and then we get our Avengers Infinity War text, spot varnished, and you can feel this texture. Well, you can't feel it because you're watching a video, but I can feel the texturing. It looks really cool. I like that starry mist. Same thing with the Groot base right there. That's pretty nifty. They each have the posable bendy wire, or not bendy wire, but you can see it's the dynamic posing stand. You remove this, and then you put the clamp right through there, and then you could tighten these up, and you can see that they have the soft felt right there. You could, you know, go ahead and clamp the figure. I like having my figures stand without the base, but these work out pretty well. I'm glad to have these over the typical display stands. And then here's all the accessories that we get with Rocket. We get the same interchangeable parts for the hands. We get fisted hands, relaxed hands, gun holding hands, and we get the interchangeable patas right there. We get the standing at the ball of your foot right there, and then we also get the flat feet also. And these have a slightly more metallic look to them compared to the previous version. I'll take a look at the fur tones. We'll get a closer look at the Rocket figure, but I want to look at the big old gun right here, which I think looks great. Man, really appreciate the subtle wear that we're seeing right here. Immaculate detail throughout on this. I like this whole teething thing that we're seeing. This looks really awesome. I like it. Man, yeah, Hot Toys really knows how to make the really cool guns. I like darkening the settings. You can see a little bit more of the wash paint as I darken things up a little bit. This also comes with a little strap, as you can see right there. I'm not 100% sure if I have this set up properly, but I think this is it. You know, you have one hook right over here, and you get the 2 hooks right there, so that works out pretty well. I like kind of wrapping this underneath right over here so it's not sticking out too bad, but yeah, this is pretty damn cool, man. I'm very pleased with it. So here's looking at the Rocket head sculpt, and it looks pretty good, just like how I did the last time in the Volume 2 Rocket figure. I really like it a lot. I like the whiskers right here. It looks like the eyes are painted white in the middle, but that's just reflection. It's very dark eyes. I like how the teeth came out. I mean, it's the same exact sculpt. One thing about this figure, though, is that it does not come with the interchangeable, more relaxed facial expression that we're seeing. And it looks like the metallic sheen in this Infinity War version is just a little bit brighter than we're seeing it on the Guardians Volume 2. So there's a slight difference in fur color, just a little bit brighter on this newer version. Yeah, slightly brighter. But other than that, the suit and everything is exactly the same. If you want to check out my review of the Volume 2 version, please go ahead and check that out. And yeah, it's the same figure. Nothing really different. Oh, and that tail just keeps popping off. Yeah, same deal with this. But it's worth getting a look at the back of the figure. You can see some nice black over the blue. I think that looks really good. You know, still have this whole detailed section right there. I like that. And just for the sake of being thorough, you can move the neck and head up this much, and you can move the neck and head down that far. Oh, a little bit farther like that. That's pretty good. You get side-to-side motion. Good head pivoting right there. The shoulders can shift in and out like a butterfly joint. That's what I want to call it. And you can move them outward that much, rotate 360, and no bicep swivel. You get a single jointed elbow. You could rotate at the elbow, and the wrists are all turned side to side and hinge up and down. Except for the gun holding hand, it has a side to side roll of the dice motion, so that's worth mentioning. You get a diaphragm joint in there. It's pretty stiff because of the suit, so you could barely move it around. It'll crunch forward just a little bit and back some. And then, you could also turn it side to side, of course, but yeah, again, just the tiniest bit. You get hips that move outward that far, and he can kick forward just that much and back that much. Upper thigh cut, single jointed knee. Then the ankles can turn side to side and hinge up and down, and then we get the ball jointed tail, and it just falls off super easy, just like the other versions. That's just disappointing that Hot Toys doesn't bother to try to fix that. Ooh, if you heard a clicking sound during that articulation segment, that's this little orb thing on the back just popped out of place, but I was able to reach my finger in there and just put it right back. So that could be irritating, but no, not that bothersome. So here's the accessories that we get with Teenage Groot, and while they all look really good, I am a bit disappointed in the accessories that come with this figure just because they're not in the Avengers Infinity War movie. That just kind of bums me out. But we get a very cool looking gun, which I'm assuming is a Wakandan gun, right? I don't know. We don't see him hold this. I don't actually remember seeing this in the movie at all, but it's a very cool looking gun. So Hot Toys did a good job making it, but yeah, it's just not in the movie, so that kind of bothers me some, but I really like the detail that we're seeing right here. That looks great. Some silver dry brushing. It looks like a teal kind of blue dry brushing, so I think that's pretty nifty, but, gold paint and stuff like that all looks really good. It's just that, yeah, he doesn't use this gun, even though I think it's kind of neat that he has the gun. We also get his arcade defender, or arcade defender in quotes, because this is not really what he uses in the game, or in the movie anyway. So yeah, I have him posed like this, holding it as they show in the promo shots from Hot Toys, but what he really uses is, kind of like a side or a horizontally shaped console or handheld game. And yeah, this looks pretty good though. I like the wear that we're seeing around the edges. The buttons look pretty good. Looks like a Game Boy, space Game Boy, but yeah, this is not really what he was playing on, so it would have been cool if we had something a little bit more accurate. Even the piece that came with the Marvel Legend looked a little bit closer to what we'd see in the movie. And then the other disappointing thing is that we get this cool looking branch effect where he's starting to create the handle for Stormbreaker, but we don't get an actual Stormbreaker. It would have been really cool to get a forearm with the Stormbreaker attached. That would have been really awesome to see, but they gave us this instead right when, he's starting to make the handle, and it looks good. Again, the work from Hot Toys is impeccable, but yeah, I just don't think that this was like the coolest choice for an accessory. I love the green vine right here. That looks really good. So the wood grain and all that stuff looks great. Now we get these two interchangeable heads, which we'll look at closely in a moment. And as far as hands go, we only get two sets of hands. We get these relaxed hands right here, and then we get a grabbing hand for this side, and then on the right side, we get a pointing finger. So that's kind of nifty. Yeah, I am Groot. So here's the first of the two Groot head sculpts, and I really like them a lot. They're actually two different face sculpts. We get one head sculpt over here, but this looks awesome. I love the wood grain. I just can't say it enough. I love the attention to detail Hot Toy gives to the Groot toys. They just nail it every time, man. As far as, the paint and texturing and all that stuff goes. I like having the green right over here at the very top. That looks really good. And you can see some branches right in there looking really nice, man. I'm really, really liking that a lot. So yeah, the Groot figure just through and through looks really good. There is a slight purplish hue to some parts of this Groot figure, which kind of trips me out a little bit. We'll see that more later on, but you just remove the face right there, and then you could reattach another face, and there's his other disgruntled face. I wish we'd gotten an open mouth screaming one, because he does scream a couple of times, when he does a charging on after they land on Earth, and then there's the other scene when he's trying to attack Thanos. That would have been cool if we'd gotten those really big branches coming out of the ground for an accessory, but I know that's a lot to ask. But this looks really good too. You can see a lot more detail in the eyes right there. I love that. That looks really good to me. So yeah, I can't complain too much about the head sculpts. I just wish we'd gotten a face sculpt where he was, kind of screaming a little bit more so. But looking at the rest of this figure, oh my gosh. Yeah, can you see the little purplish hue in some of the bark? I don't know. I'm seeing it. It's very, very subtle, but God, the details in this, there's just no words, man. I just can't describe how awesome this looks in person. In purpose. Yeah, it's so awesome that I'm getting my words jumbled. But you could see a little bit of that purplish hue in there, which doesn't bother me much at all, you know? I'm not irritated by that. It's just a detail that I've noticed that I haven't really seen before. We're getting some nice green fading into brown, in and out right there. And this is one of the 4 branches that you attach. 1, 2, and then 3, and then there's one towards this side. Oh, right there. And then there's 4. But yeah, looking at the Groot butt, looks pretty good. I like how he has a little bit of this teenage paunch right there. That's great. Nice details throughout on this thing. I'm liking that. Oh, and I put the hands on the wrong side. Oh, what a dumbass. Oops. Sorry, guys. I'll fix that. But yeah, looking at the rest of the figure, it looks really great with all these vines going through here. I'm digging that. I feel like I should darken things so you can see the details maybe a little bit more clearly. I don't know. Oh man, this is just amazing. I love this. I'm just a huge sucker for the Groot toys from Hot Toys. They just nail it, man. I don't like that, you know, the joints right there look very flat, but I'm not that irritated by it. I love how the feet look right here too. Great looking feet. Again, you can see a little bit of that purplish hue mixed in there. And then here's looking at the bottom. Ooh, I just knocked off one of those little twig branches right there. But yeah, that is looking great as always. Really, really dig the Groot. And for a why the hell not, I'll just demonstrate porting this right back in there so you can see it's not too tricky to do. So you could have it positioned any way you'd like. And it is worth mentioning that the directions are very specific as to which branch goes where. Now I think we get some really good articulation on this Groot figure. You can make him look up this far, which is not too bad. And then you can move the head and neck joints down together to make him look down that far. He has a good amount of head tiltage and neck tiltage as well. And you get side-to-side motion right over here too. The shoulders actually have butterfly joints, so you can move them forward and back a little bit right there and shift up and down ever so slightly. And you can move the shoulder outward that far, and you can move it back down and rotate a full 360. No bicep swivel, but we get a single jointed elbow, and a little twig just came off, or branch came off. And then it rotates at the shoulder, or at the elbow as well. And then you get wrists that turn side to side, and they hinge side to side or up and down depending on how you have that peg configured. Oh, we also get extra pegs in case you break a wrist peg. And then you get a diaphragm joint that turns side to side. You get some diaphragm pivoting and good crunching forward and crunching back just a little bit. He does have shifting hips right here that can move up and down, so that's really good, and it helps move the leg out that far. And you can rotate that upper thigh joint, and you can see how it moves down right there. You also get a jointed, or a single jointed knee right there. It bends in a little bit more than 90 degrees, and then you get rotation at the knee. Then the ankles, oop, just knock that off the peg. Yeah, there it goes. You can move the ankle down, you can move it up, you could rotate the ankle side to side, and he does have ankle pivot. Now to measure out Rabbit and Tree over here, you can see Rabbit is standing just under 6.5 inches tall, and Tree is standing just at 12 inches. And then for your Hot Toys Rocket Raccoon comparison, we have the Volume 1 rocket, the Volume 2 rocket, and the Avengers Infinity War rocket, and you can see how these two are pretty much more or less exactly the same thing. And then for our 1/6 scale Hot Toys Groot comparison, you can see the baby Groot, we have the toddler Groot, teen Groot, and our grown Groot, and they all have slightly different colors to them, which I think is fine. Then here's our teenage Groot compared to the 1:1 scale Groot figures. We have the baby Groot and the little toddler Groot right there. And this pot didn't come with this Hot Toys baby Groot. Charlie the One added this on. And then here's our Hot Toys Avengers Infinity War Rocket and Groot next to our Marvel Legends Avengers Infinity War Rocket and Groot. Groot party, yeah!
I'm Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot.
I am Dwight Rogers. And then here's our Hot Toys Rocket and Groot next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Oh man, Thor's so lucky you got to make him a weapon. Yeah, can you make me a weapon, huh? Please, please? Oh, that's not what I had in mind. I gotta give you guys a big thanks for watching my video and hanging out with me here on this YouTube channel. It really does help out when you guys watch these videos all the way from the beginning to the end, as well as when you hit that like button and leave your comments below, and please subscribe if you haven't already, as well as hit that notification bell. And I gotta give a special thanks to all the patrons out there that help make this YouTube channel possible. I really do appreciate it. Check the link in the description below if you're interested. Now this 2-pack over here has me feeling a little bit disappointed. I think there's some very cool things going on over here, and of course I have the Groot over here posed with the gun while he doesn't really use the gun in the movie at all, or that gun just, I guess, doesn't exist. I can't blame Hot Toys too much because I have a feeling that it's not their fault. A lot of the time, you know, the production companies will send out images and then they make changes. For instance, Hasbro released a Hulk busting out of a Hulk buster, and that never happened in Infinity War. So, you know, they could be misled, but regardless, I mean, I feel like they could have made a change at some point or another, and I think the choices for accessories for Groot are just a little bit on the weak side. It would have been really awesome if we'd gotten Stormbreaker attached to the arm. Hopefully we'll get that with the Infinity War Thor. I definitely have that pre-ordered, so I will be reviewing that when it comes out, but the Rocket is definitely not worth the extra money, I think. You know, to get this whole 2-pack at BBTS, it's $345, and then to get just the Groot figure, I think it's like just over $220. So it's a $120 Rocket figure, and I don't think it's really worth it, and I feel like there's a lot missing from the Groot figure over here too. So I'm giving this 2-pack set a SUD rating of meh, because while it's not bad, I'm just not really that thrilled about it. Now, these are our first Hot Toys Infinity War figures that we can get, so I am pretty stoked about that. But yeah, just, you know, I do feel a bit meh about this 2-pack set, and I am curious to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section below. If you want to see a photo gallery of images from this 2-pack set and the latest in Marvel news and forums, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com, and if you want to stay in touch with me on the social media, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Links to everything in the description below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I'm gonna play with my toys today. Well, I don't care what my people say. I'm gonna play with my toys today. Can't have one, I gotta get them all. Time to make a trip to the local mall. Oh yeah.
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face is it my shot. Your face is it my shot.